again.
Okay, that was the Poison Girls, Where's the Pleasure, and that's the title track off their Where's the Pleasure album. And before that we heard Agent Orange doing Driving, One Way System did Stab the Judge, The Clash did White Riot, and then we started off with DOA doing Race Riot. And the reason I picked all those songs is because of the riots that are on in London.
We've heard about them.
This is Poison Girls are here with me in the studio right now. But you left before the riot started, right?
Well, there'd been Birmingham. What did we hear about Brixton? That we'd left before the Brixton, where a woman got shot. A black woman got shot.
That was where police went. Yeah, they went in and they were looking for her son, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you may know more about it than I do because we've been aware while that happened.
Well, yesterday there was further riots in Tottenham, and there was a policeman stabbed to death.
I
think there was like 65 people injured.
Really?
People were like running around the place.
What triggered that off?
We were told it was because a black woman was killed in a police station whilst being questioned.
Oh,
I was told.
The one from a week ago?
No, this was one from yesterday.
See, I'm not sure about the information now. I haven't seen any papers since yesterday.
So where did you people roll in from?
We just
from Phoenix,
Arizona today. Yeah.
We arrived in San Francisco. We had to be up at 6:30 this morning. We arrived in San Francisco and I had to go to sleep. We did a show in Phoenix last night and didn't get to bed till 3.
Yeah. So did they like you in Phoenix?
They loved us in Phoenix. Ones that came.
Yeah. You're playing tonight at the I-Beam.
Right.
And then there's Beat Rodeo are going to open for you. Have you heard them yet?
I haven't heard them, no.
Yeah, I'll play one of their songs later.
Okay.
And also, well, you're going to be here for a little while, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're also going to play, for the first time in America, right?
Yep.
Something from their Poison Girls' forthcoming album, but we're not going to get to that for a minute because, I think it was you, Richard, that picked out the Omega Tribe, right?
Yep.
Why do you want to hear this band?
Because they're a great band. They've broken up now, but they're one of the, a young, politically aware band working from London, do some really good music.
We've played with them, we've worked with them.
We've worked with them. They should be better now.
Yeah. How about Crass?
We worked with them for getting over 3 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Are they really good people?
We had a wonderful 3 years working with them. We haven't seen too much of them lately.
Why? What happened?
We needed to get out and become independent again. We started well before we met Crass. We had a partnership, 3 years with them, and then I guess, like any relationship, it came to an end.
Yeah,
we could talk about it, but it would take a long time.
Yeah, but are they like a real sort of a commune, a real non-profit organization where everybody pitches in?
I don't think it's possible to work as a non-profit organization. They're in the business like everybody else. They had a few values which were important and are important, and I don't want to make too much of Crass. I mean, Crass are a big name, but what happened in that period included a lot of other bands, and Crass became the most important of that movement, and those values are still going on.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is Billy Jam, and I'm sitting here with Poison Girls, talking with Vi, Max, and Richard. And I'll tell you where to put out that bud in a second. Right now, we're going to listen to a request for the Omega Tribe.
It's us v them, the middle class and the boys in blue.
And that is Gary Johnson doing Dead End Yobs off the Oi True Strength compilation. And before that, we heard Captain Beefheart doing Electricity, and that was requested by Richard of the Poison Girls, because he likes Captain Beefheart so much, right?
Sure, yes.
And the other one that you wanted to hear, we didn't have, right?
I would have liked to hear something from Clear Spot, but it didn't there in your collection.
Yeah.
Wonderful though your collection is.
It is, very, very vast. And we start off with Omega Tribe, and they did Prophet, and then that was followed by Poison Girls doing I'm Not a Real Woman, which was my choice, because I really like that song a lot. So, when you wrote that song, I mean, what did you have in mind?
Well, I guess since we first started, there wasn't. I talked about values, and those values being very important in the punk era of what other bands were doing, but there wasn't very much idea of what you might call sexism at that time, and it was very important for me, just a matter of survival, even in the alternative context, to make some clear statement about my particular oppression, right? And that for me was that it is very oppressive indeed to try to feel that you have to try and live up to some kind of stereotype of femininity, which even carried through into the alternative so-called anarcho-political scene, right? And at that time there were very few women making any kind of statements. It's changing, and not just because of what happened in that context, but right across the board, across the world, women have been struggling against that, and that was my contribution at that time. There are others. There's more to come.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about women in music. How about right now over in England? Is there many women in punk bands? Or are there many punk bands for that matter?
The punk energy is going. We knew it. One reason why we did have to change out of that crass kind of context was because it was getting very stereotyped in itself. It was getting very predictable. Everybody felt they had to kind of play in a certain kind of a way to be kind of kosher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The scene for women at the moment, I think, is quite difficult. We can look back on about 10 years of a women's movement this time round. I mean, this is not to say that there weren't women struggling way back. And at the end of that 10 years, there are a few gains. Sure, some of us can get on stage now, and it isn't quite so horrific, but women in general have not made many gains out there in the real world.
Yeah.
And particularly now at a time where economically everything's tightening up again, we are finding that in many, many areas we're the first to go again.
Yeah. Well, to me it seems like it's sort of gone backwards. I mean, when you look at the sex symbols, Madonna and all these, it just seems that it's taken a step backwards.
Right, and these women are being hailed by the press and the kind of crap journalists as representing feminism.
Page 3.
I find that very bitter.
Yeah.
Very bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah. How about other sort of civil rights? Like, I know in England at the moment a lot of bands are concerned with animal rights. Have you taken up that issue?
We have. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, there's one track on the 7 Year Scratch compilation called The Offending Article, which attempts to bring the connections between the animal liberation movement and connect it with wider issues like sexism and the pacifist movement, with war, with anger, basically connecting it with anger.
Yeah.
And again, it's very easy to say, let's not skin that bear and go and beat your wife up. Which seems to be like a lot of, in its bluntest form, a lot of what it's about. It seems to be a very safe issue, because in Britain everyone loves animals, sure, great, but I mean there's bigger things involved with it.
I think that to split up the revolutionary struggle, we can call it that, can't we, into issues is really dangerous. Indeed, they become competitive then, like, our issue is better than your issue. What we're trying to do, and what we're still trying to do, is to connect up how these things work together to create a society which is anti-life for everybody.
Would you say that's the goal of your tour here in the States then?
Well, right now, I mean, we are at a time where there's a lot of fear. A whole lot of things are happening on a very wide scale. Maybe a focus that we could look at as one of the sort of centres of the cyclone is what's happening in South Africa. And these riots that you're talking about earlier that are happening in London are basically a response to racial oppression. I think that what I've always wanted to do since I was a little girl, really, is to kind of feel that, I was brought up in the Second World War at a time when there was a lot of terror and fear, and I know that people are very manipulable in times of fear and terror. There's a lot of people who can make very easy capital out of the fear that we're experiencing now, like there's all these Jesus freaks about, to name but one. So what I would like to do is to continue to create a network of people who can relate as human beings and somehow keep our heads and not lose control, basically, of some kind of basic communication between each other as people based on real needs, trying to find out what we can do to help each other in this time.
And based on real experience as well.
Yeah.
And to not get trapped, particularly not get trapped into categories of this little ism or that little ism or this particular little issue. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.